means that my loss made me stronger.
You will do extraordinary things. Throw me to Karamel!
Hey guys, Ben here, and welcome back to another video on Supergirl Season 3, and today we're going to be doing my review for the finale episode. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, and subscribe if you're new, so you don't miss any Supergirl videos later this year. So this review is going to be a mixed bag, so I very much did enjoy the episode. There were some really good bits, and then there were some bits that I wasn't too happy with, which we'll talk about. But essentially, overall, it was a good episode. It was definitely the best Supergirl finale we've had, but it wasn't the best episode ever, and I felt like maybe the editing and maybe the continuity of the episode was a bit lacking at some points, but let's get into this. So we start off in the episode with chaos, and I was surprisingly surprised with how well it actually kind of went on at the start. Normally they don't really do that good with the cold opens, especially in fight scenes, and surprisingly it worked well, and I think that's just mainly due to the fact of Jean and his dad and the way he sacrificed himself. I thought that actually really worked quite well, and so I enjoyed that part of the episode. But during that we get the Legion returning, so Imra and Brainiac 5, they didn't bring any reinforcements, which I find very weird, but obviously it's just to reduce the cost and not having to bring in other actors and introduce them and, you know, burden them for the next season. But essentially after that we get the wrap up of Mon-El and Imra and their story. I don't think they're going to be together. I feel like they're just going to be single, working together in the future, and this is the parts where I come into the Mon-El of it all. So that is really annoying. They sorted out that storyline and they just fucking threw it away. They threw away Karamel. It could have totally happened in this episode. There was so many points. There was no actually emotional scenes, and it seemed like they were totally different characters than they were in episode 21. So Mon-El was free, and obviously he has to go back to the future, which we'll talk about in a minute. But he says, I need to go back, and they have that scene, that brief goodbye scene, and it's really nothing. It was essentially just them saying goodbye, and you know, there wasn't anything substantial about it. And then Mon-El leaves to the future. We have no goodbye with everyone else. It's just left hanging. You know, Mon-El was sent back to the future. You know, fuck him, right? That's what the writers seem to be playing at in this finale. So like I said, I think the way that they actually shipped off Mon-El was really bad and really poorly done, and you guys can check out my rant video as to why it's so annoying that Mon-El is not back next season. It's just a waste of a bloody character, and it really pisses me off. But anyway, moving on from that little ranty bit again, the next part that I want to talk about is Winn. So we get some brilliant scenes of him leaving, and the reason for him going to the future. About the AIs I'll talk about in a minute, but I'm very happy for Jeremy, and I'm more happy with the way he went out by far over Mon-El, considering that I actually believed in this, and it was just a lot more clearer. I'm gonna miss him, but at least he's going to be recurring. You would have to assume the Legion of Superheroes will be back next season due to Brainiac actually staying in the present. And also Brainiac 5 actually revealed that in stopping Pestilence they saved tons of people in the future, but Brainiac survived. The evil version survived, so they need new heroes in the future, and they need Mon-El to be the leader, and they need Winn to actually take over Brainiac's place, as many of us theorized about. So Brainy must stay in the present because for some reason the future needs Mon-El and Winn to save some fucking AIs. Who gives two shits about an AI? I think that was a really, really poor explanation as well. I think the writing is the worst part of this episode, and like, it's just, what the fuck? Who wants to save a fucking AI? Over Winn staying in present day, yeah, his technology is good in the future, but the AI explanation, like, what was that? I'm very happy that Mon-El and Winn are going to be happy in the future. They're going to be heroes. That's great. That was good, but it just doesn't make sense as to that AI bit, and I don't think we're going to see Brainiac next season, but hopefully, if Mon-El does return in like season 5 or 6, all they've said is he's not going to be back in season 4, so if they want to bring back Mon-El and Winn properly, we can go to the future and take on the actual evil Brainiac. That's exciting to me, but we're going to have to wait a while until maybe we see them properly return. But Winn will be a recurring character next season, so get ready for that, because I'm excited to see Winn for the minimal amount of time that he's got. We get the wrap up of Reign, and it's a really great way that she actually goes out, because she actually ends up killing Mon-El, Allura, and also Sam during the big fight when she is defeated. So Sam stabs her, and then the heroes actually do die. But then we get my favorite part of the entire episode. It's when Supergirl time travels. Now this is an awesome scene, and this was definitely the best thing. After they've all died, like Barry, we get that scene of Kara going through the disruption, using the Legion of Superheroes ring so she can actually fly through it, and she travels back in time and she changes it, and by doing that, she is created the season 4 villain from what we can see, but we will talk about that in a minute. And it was just really nice seeing all the glimpses of what's happened this season and in the past seasons, and the way they actually stopped her was using the Karamel, and it was great seeing Reign being defeated inside her own mind using the fountain that actually gave her her special powers on Krypton. So that was a great way to end a great villain for this season. Definitely my favorite Supergirl villain for sure. So also by the end of the episode, Kara is officially a Legionnaire, and also Winn is, just to add that in, but she's officially a Legionnaire because she has the Legion ring, and so I'm sure she's going to be using that at some point to maybe fly into space and do some other really cool tricks with the Legion ring, and I'm happy that she officially got a ring. Moving on to the end of the episode. So I've still got a few more things to talk about, but I want to talk about this first. So we get the end scene, and the camera actually pans up into the air, and we go over to Siberia. And at that point, just before that, we see Lena, and she's talking to Eve, and they're testing on the Karamel. And as Reign was being defeated when Kara was using the Karamel, remember Kara had the Karamel in her hand. Some dust or some sort of vapor actually went into the air and flew over to Siberia, and at the end we got to see a mysterious looking Kara. So I've got theories on this. Obviously I will be doing a video on this later today where I'll be fully explaining it, but essentially just to tell you guys my thoughts, I think this is a dark side of Kara. I think it's basically like Bizarro, what we got before, but not a complete different version, just a dark version of Kara rather than an absolute opposite version. So the final things I want to talk about is Alex. She is promoted to the director of the DEO. That's awesome, but however, I have to say I do not want her to be sidelined just for this mother story. I think go with the mother story, but also keep her in the action. I don't want Alex not to be in the action. That would be a waste of her character. And also, so Jean has stepped down, and we saw at the end of the episode that Jean is on the ground. He is in normal civilization, and I have no doubt that Jean will be back and he will play a big part in next season. But I think for the first part, he's just going to be a bit more low-key, and I don't think he's going away, so I wouldn't worry about that. But that is essentially it. The last thing is Allura goes back to Argo City, so we will be sure to go back to Argo City because they still have the Karamel, and obviously that created the mysterious Kara at the end of the season. And also we didn't get the wrap up with a few characters on Argo City, that being Thara Akvar more specifically, and you know, it was just really great seeing Argo City. So anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this review, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, and subscribe if you're new so you don't miss any videos over the summer as we head towards Comic-Con, where we get that first look at season 4. Anyway guys, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
It doesn't make us strong, it doesn't make us weak. Tongue tied to service like Shaq Free.